Give me one example of the kind of different personality types that you've experienced with your company and the people who've come to you for different sorts of things. I know you've also given a lot of talks and you've held a lot of workshops on leadership and for offices, but we'll get to that later. But for now, I'm just interested. What are your most favorite types of personalities and what you've experienced?
I don't want to say favorites because that's going to get me in trouble. Of course, I would say that my favorite type is my own personality. No, yeah, I think we all have to like ourselves
Yeah.
best. But I think in general, more helpful things that I've found is that this is going to get wonky really fast. I split people into four different personality packs. And
Okay.
within those four packs, there are four animal types, right? So that makes 16. But the most common packs, I call them gatherers and hunters. And gatherers make up about half the population. So about half the population are going to have a same
Right.
core value. And I mention that because they may make up half the population, but they probably make up about 80% of educators.
Okay.
Definitely at the elementary school level, because their number one priority is safety and security and creating a safe space. And I think that's super important when we're dealing, especially with K through 8 education. However, since they make about 80% of the population or of the teaching population, but not all their students are going to be that way. And so I always said, look, if you have a hunter student, hunters learn by excitement and they're not really caring about the rules. They will bend the rules and push them as much as they can and get away with whatever they can. So I would tell parents who are gatherers or teachers who are gatherers, if you tell a kid, if you tell a hunter kid, if you go into that cookie jar and
Right.
take a cookie, I'm going to slap you. And the funny thing is, the hunter will think the hunter's not going to go, oh, okay. They're not going to read that as, oh, you're my parent. I should listen to you because you clearly don't want me to go into the cookie jar. But
Right.
they'll read it as, how hard is that slap? Is it worth the cookie? Is it a really good cookie? Because maybe I'll get the cookie and get the slap and it'll be okay. And I think for
Right.
gatherers and teachers in general, they just don't like understand that. They're just like, wait, what? Like, no, I'm the authority. You're supposed to listen. I'm trying to tell you, do
Yeah.
not take that and grab that. But hunters are very different. They make about a third of the population. They're the kids who are like grabbing things and throwing things and not standing still. And I think it's good to understand that contrast because it happens all the time. And I think if you don't understand that as an educator, then you're definitely not going to instruct that particular student in the
True.
best way for them individually to succeed.